Okay. I did a lot of searching on this. A lot. I was planning on making this video anyway. It's about the collision in Ohio and Palestine. Goodness, it's absolutely tragic. What's worse, of course, is the response. I don't know if you know this or not, but one of the ingredients that's actually went up in a giant mushroom cloud, you should actually look at it in East Palestine. It's just a gigantic mushroom cloud. Toxic. I mean, I don't know if it would have been any worse if it were radioactive or not. Like radioactivity, you'll actually see the cancer effects from this for many years. Saw a lot of video of foxes that are getting sick and not eating and have puffy faces. One of the ingredients, he has a World War I weapon gas, and that's phosgene. What was really horrific, and this was a Columbus interview on the toxic spill. It was at Columbus, and his name, I believe, is Dr. Vanderhoff. He's wearing a little bow tie. Obviously, it seems like he was working for the government. He kept saying it was absolutely one of the most horrific things I think I've heard in a long time. So these are just volatile organic compounds. When you like pump gas, you interact with volatile organic compounds all the time. You know, this guy, and I'll never trust anybody with a bow tie. He basically said, don't worry. It was one of the most horrific, abysmal, cover-up propaganda, filth-mongering I've actually seen in a really, really long time. You know, when you pump gas and your hands might get a little bit of volatile, or VOC, volatile organic compounds on them, you know, they're usually not in the form of a gigantic mushroom cloud where everything goes up to a certain strata level in the air, drops back down, it gets in your water system, in your watershed, and you end up showering in it. You end up breathing it in. There's a lightning flash outside. I was like, what was that? The lightning is flashing outside. Totally. I think you could hear the thunder. It's just totally horrific. Anyway, at 9 p.m., February 3rd, train derailed East Palestine, Ohio. Village of about 5,000 residents, 50 miles northwest of Pittsburgh. About 50 of the trains, 150 cars ran off the tracks. There's still no information of whether, and I won't say what it is, it's a type of sabotage that's actually done. I won't use that specific word. That's investigation is still going on. It's absolutely horrific. By the way, there was a Netflix show about this a year ago. It's about a train derailment in Ohio with toxins. And horrifically enough, some of the people that were actually in that Netflix show were also the people that were affected. Talk about really, really, really strange. None of the media is covering this. Well, I should say like 95% of the media. I think that has something to do with the fact that like 95% of this town is extremely conservative. That's just pure speculation on my part. It was on its way and came off the tracks on its way to Madison, Illinois. From Madison, Illinois to Conway, Pennsylvania. This is not making the news at all. I had an enormous amount of you, and I was planning on doing this anyway. Contact me about this and discussing this. This should be, absolutely not my opinion, hardcore fact, a national disaster, but it's being swept underneath the rug. Regardless of the crash, and I can't say the exact people, and nobody knows this except for the people in the inner circle here. Regardless of the crash and what happened here and whether it was sabotage or not, a pile of fools decided to, whoa, we're worried about an explosion. They decided to set it ablaze. So the gigantic mushroom cloud where everybody's choking and the fish are dying in mass, and it's reached the Ohio River and water. It was done on purpose, regardless of whatever you think about the crash and how horrific it is, which is absolutely horrific. The decision to set it ablaze was done on purpose. That's not my opinion. That's an established fact. Thousands of people have been forced from their home. Governor DeWine, who's the governor of Ohio, he was actually on the TV cackling about this. Oh, if it were me, I'd be going back home. I did a lot of looking into this and even called one person up in East Palestine. This is absolutely horrific. They're sweeping this underneath the rug. It's absolutely unbelievable. All the video I see of people choking, see their lungs are burning, they're dizzy, they're woozy, their face is puffed up. Anyway, giant mushroom cloud, toxins, of course, have gone up and into the watershed far, far, far further than what they're reporting. Oh, there's a small affected area. That's absolutely not the case. Like a tactical nuke only has a certain, like 5 miles, where you're in the danger zone. But I mean, the particulate matter goes up in the strata, gets carried, falls back down, ends up in the watershed, the animals get sick, the fish are dying, and this is already happening. There's plenty of video of that. Fearing an explosion, the authorities held a controlled release of the toxic materials from the train tankers on February the 6th. The contents were diverted to a trench and burned off. They weren't burned off. There was a gigantic mushroom cloud that looked like a tactical nuke went off. Actually, a tactical nuke wouldn't have a mushroom cloud that big. This is way bigger mushroom cloud than a tactical nuke would have. I've seen many videos of tactical nukes, by the way. Last time those were actually burst out in the open was in northern Nevada back in the 60s and 70s. Local farmers have claimed that their livestock is dropping dead. Tons and tons of video of fish turning up belly up in the stream. Pets have died. One lady, all her chickens are dead. Residents reporting experiencing symptom exposure to toxic chemicals. Well, no duh. People fear the true scale environmental effects have yet to be identified. People's pets are dying. People are dizzy. They're sick. They're told to go back. They say they can't go back. They can't shower in the water. These people who are very poor, most of them, are said, well, just go to a hotel in Pittsburgh or something. They don't have the money for that. I said like 80% of Americans can't afford a $500 emergency. You think these people can like stop working and go like stay in even a dumpy motel? They can't afford that. Where is the stinking, what are these people paying taxes for? Where is the stinking government on this front? Ohio Governor Mike DeWine, who I have absolutely zero respect for, zero, less than zero technically, described the air quality readings as basically similar to what they would have expected prior to the train wreck. Can you believe that? Can you believe that the Ohio governor said that the air quality readings are, these are his words, basically similar to what they would have expected prior to the train wreck? Total lie. People are up there saying they're choking and gagging, their faces burning, they're dizzy, their faces are puffy, the animals are dying, the fish are belly up. It's already made its way into the Ohio River. What a lying filth. Well, this total lying filth. One specialist said, Sig Cagliano, so we basically nuked an entire town with chemicals so we could get the railroad back open. A hazardous materials expert. Vinyl chloride, which of course, by the way, is a very toxic, very carcinogenic, flammable gas. They purposely set this on fire, created a giant mushroom cloud. It's in the water system. It's killing and making everybody sick, killing the critters. U.S. Environmental Protection Agency sent a letter to Norfolk Southern stating that ethylene glycol, minobutyl ethylate, ethyl hexyl acrylate, and isobutylene were also too in the real course. Wait a minute, it wasn't just really, really toxic, cancer-causing vinyl chloride. It was a whole string of really awful things. Phosgene. Once again, a lot of this is phosgene, which is a World War I's weapons agent. World War I weapon agent. Yeah, phosgene. Everybody keeps talking about vinyl chloride. What about the phosgene? Cagliano said the ethyl hexyl acrylate is especially worrisome. It's extremely carcinogenic. Contact with it can cause burning. I've seen many videos and many pictures of people with skin burns from these toxins, and they were told, oh, yeah, it's safe to go back home now. Sure. Sure. I mean, where's Greta Thunderbunny at times like this? See, if you can't actually sell the green agenda and solar panels and electric cars and buses, they don't give a damn about these people. The government, oh my God, the world's going to end next year. The whole world's going to go, climate emergency. Oh yeah, they don't care about the people that are like sucking in wickedly deadly fumes, and the critters are all dying, and the fish are belly up. No, I don't care about that. Oh, we care about the environment. No, these people are total hypocrites. So here's the long list of the evils. Vinyl chloride. 10 cars were burning with vinyl chloride. That's just vinyl chloride only. Kind of chloride exposure, drowsiness, headaches, dizziness, highly carcinogenic, long-term effects, cancer, permanent liver damage, hydrogen chloride. I'm going to go on, you can look these up. Phosgene, which is a World War I weapons agent. Oh, God. Phosgene irritates the skin, eyes, respiratory tract, burning, skin lesions. Phosgene, ethyl hexyl acrylate. Even way worse than vinyl chloride. Isobutylene and ethylene glycol monobutyl. Skin irritation, nose, throat, lungs, hematuria, liver damage, kidney damage, blood in the urine, nervous system depression, headache, vomiting. All these people are reporting anywhere near this. Please let me reiterate the fact that the fools, and I don't know which group of fools decided, whether it was the railway or the EPA or some government knuckle-dragging group of cross-eyed fools, that regardless of the crash and regardless of whether this was sabotage or not, they admit that they set this ablaze and poof, giant mushroom cloud, everybody's sucking like it's their last breath, like that kind of, sucking in air. The animals are way more receptive to this. This lady's all her chickens, there's video of all her chickens dead. Farmers are reporting that their animals are dizzy and walking around in circles, and one guy's cattle. Unbelievable. And who's talking about this? Nobody. Nobody. If there were a false flag, by the way, they would be talking about it. All these hypocrites that keep talking about the environment. Here you have a genuine, hardcore national disaster. It's making its way, already is making its way into the aquifer system. It's already in the watershed. I don't know if you know how far the Ohio River goes, for those of you who are in Europe. That would be like infecting the Rhine. It's like the Rhine feeds everything. It goes everywhere. The Ohio River is, I think, only second to the Mississippi. Imagine tons of toxins making their way in the Mississippi River. It's like, well, hellfire. Just welcome to hell. Well, the second one after the Mississippi would be the Ohio River. It could be the third, but it's probably the second. It feeds into everything. The aquifer system, unfrigging believable. They admit to lighting this on fire. I really wished I could play for you the video of the Governor DeWine. He's chuckling, it's okay to go back if it were my home. And he was just saying some offhanded remarks. Oh, these people just need to drink Evian water. And stay in a hotel for a little while. Ohio, don't take this the wrong way, but your governor is a fool. Actually, he's way worse than a fool. He's words I can't even use. The chemical burns on this one dude's face. We can't go anywhere. We can't afford a hotel. We don't have any money. We have to stay here and suck in the poison. You can't afford it. I could be wrong. Pure speculation on my part. The reason why the government doesn't give a damn about these people, and they certainly have proven over the past, since February the 3rd, proven they don't give a damn, is that these people are, this particular area is extremely conservative. Now, this happened actually in Pittsburgh, or immediately around Pittsburgh, or say Detroit, or definitely Seattle, or Portland, or LA. Oh man, they'd be all over it like stink on poo. No, they don't give a damn about these people. They've proven. Several people were asked, has any government official come by and knocked on your door? How can we help you? We're the government. Are you okay? And all these people said, no, nobody has. So it's not safe to go back. It's we can't go back. Why? Well, my lungs are burning and I've got burns on my face. I'm dizzy and my face is puffy. No! Go back. Well, it's a problem. Just drink Evian water. What are these people supposed to shower in? Assuming they could buy fancy bottled water. What are they going to do for their lungs? Actually, by the way, I know quite a bit about gas masks, and this has already been confirmed by experts that these chemicals, even if you're to sit in your own house wearing a gas mask, a real gas mask, which is basically impossible, these chemicals, to them, that's nothing. Get right through the gas mask. All these chemicals, yeah, blocking, no. NBC gas mask, nuclear, biological, chemical. Yeah, several of these chemicals, yeah, you're still gonna suck in the hellish chemicals. So this is completely off the hook. This is completely a national disaster. But the government's acting like this is just like grandma spilled her basket of raspberries. Oh, no big deal. Don't worry. Stay in a hotel for a few. These people can't afford it. Their animals are dying. Their skin's on fire. Not literally on fire, like this kind of fire, but I mean, chemical burns. Is going to be cancer off the hook. I was like, well, all of a sudden we see a huge spike in cancer like 3 or 4 years down the road, and it just keeps going on up, for the next 10, 20 years. Oh, we've passed the statute of limitations. You can't sue us anymore. Norfolk Southern or whoever decided to set it ablaze. Can you believe they actually decided to set this chemical, can you believe? I mean, the worst of the worst of the worst. The only thing that would be worse than this is if it were a bunch of depleted uranium and it like spilled out as a powder and they decided to set it off with enormous fireworks, spread radioactive depleted uranium everywhere. That would be the only thing worse than this, is to let's just take 10,000 pounds of atomized depleted uranium and send it up in the upper atmosphere and let it fall down and kill everything. And if it doesn't kill you, you're definitely going to die with cancer in the next 5 years. That would be the only thing worse than this. And yet, no, nobody's talking about it. No, nobody. No, it's no big deal. Don't worry about it. Unbelievable. If you think there's nothing going on, then you've got your head firmly planted up a dark place. You tell me. I read every comment. Takes me a while sometimes. Unfreaking believable.